Okay, now we're recording. Hey, okay. So yeah, Badwater talk through. It's gonna have to be a bit quick today, as I've got to go away from the weekend and get packed and shit in a bit. But whatever, we got a bit of time. Okay, so let's go through the defences first. And first up is the first point, obviously. Run up here and explode for your NG, because you know NGs love that shit. Okay, holding this first point, you always want to be up on cliff. Like, I mean, a lot of Badwater is, I don't know, everyone knows this shit, but it's worth going over anyway, and there's like tweaks and stuff. Okay, so what you see a lot of heavies doing is coming forward to try and get dings on people as they come out of spawn. I wouldn't ever do this. Coming this far forwards is a fucking terrible idea. Even just coming to here is a pretty bad idea. Just because if you get sniped early on, or if you take a load of damage, or you're not in as great a position to stop jumpers, there's just issues being far forwards here, and they don't outweigh the disadvantages. So I'd never come this far forwards. What I've actually taken to doing is, a lot of heavies like to hang out near the corner. I don't see the point. Like, if your demo is holding forwards at the corner, and your pyro's there as well, then I don't think as a heavy you add too much to that, and you've got to watch out for being sniped from the arrow down there. That is a great way to die on this point. So what I have taken to doing is, I will chill right here. Now, the advantages of chilling right here when the round begins are, jumpers, you can track them really easily. It's not like any jumpers are going to kind of go over your thing to make it hard to track. The jumpers are going to go up and they're going to be in front of you. What's more, if a jumper, say, is doing a Cadus and going around the back, you can tell exactly where he is. If a soldier decides to come out of tunnel, because maybe your scout has you know, to go onto the plane to support the sniper or whatever, then you can pick him up and shoot him. Also, spies can't decloak here. You can't get stabbed by a spy. And yeah, so also, in fact, if their combo manages to get past your demo and Uber on this corner while attacking, it means that, like, your medic doesn't have to flash you with Uber. Your medic can just hit the pyro, and the pyro can just blast them off the edge or stick with the demo. Like, it's basically freeing up like your other team resources a lot more if you keep the heavy back here. Also, like, if say your team is getting pushed quite hard and they're attacking this corner with Uber or just the rest of their team, if you're here, you've got nowhere to run. You have to fight, or like, that's it. You just can't escape effectively. If you're back here and they manage to push up at that corner, you can just drop off to a health pack, and yeah, you know, again, it's that whole thing of dropping down is the fastest transition of movement that heavy can have. So for terms of changing a fight, if you don't like the look of it, the drop down is always like a massive thing for you to do. When you're dropping down here, remember to hug the wall. If you hug the wall, you won't take any damage from the drop, which is always nice. I mean, you know, usual stuff. The gun will be back here looking down there. What other stuff? Savvy NGs, there's a couple of little overhangs here which you can kind of place the teleporter exit under, and these little bits of rock kind of deflect spam, so random nades don't tend to drop on them. Be very careful about what ammo you pick up here. Your NG's gonna be wanting most of the ammo, so don't go just snaffling up all of it willy-nilly. You got to think about that one. What else to talk about? When stuff comes up that side, you need to call it really fast, and you need someone to jump it. If there's a sniper over there, the only thing you can really do is get behind this rock and attempt to hide from them, because yeah, you can't really do anything against a sniper over there except put in dings. What else when you're back here? Be careful about falling off the edge. It's horribly easy to do and kind of embarrassing. The walk up is not a great one. I really don't like crossing up that tunnel mouth, just because you can take a lot of damage. There's various little bullshitty plays you can do up here. You can put heavy on that little bit of concrete over there and do ambushes and stuff. But again, ambushes aren't normally a great idea. They're a bit dodgy. Beginning of the round, this is a great one to lay a sandwich down for your medic wherever he wants to stand and upcycle it yourself. Just grab this a good bit before the end and it'll be fine. Oh god, stop the dings, you're killing me. Yeah, what else to say about first point? Okay, interesting points. If they are attacking from the plateau, then jumping up on top of this thing can be alright. I'm not actually jumping because, in fact, no, go on, let's use the other hand. Oh wait, no, now because I've bound mouse 4 to move forwards, I can't move and jump. Oh wait, I could move sideways and jump. Let me just... Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so getting up here and shooting down onto people who are coming this way is very effective. Again, though, whenever you're up here, you just have to be very aware of where stuff is coming from, because you'll just debate great sniper victim from a number of angles. If you're hanging round up here, then the only real option their spy is going to have to decloak will be under the stairs or around here. It basically makes this whole area very unappealing for spies, which is nice. Although they might try and decloak in that corner if they're particularly ballsy, so watch out for that. Usual thing here with defences is just be very aware of when you're going to end up pulling out. Also, I would say about staying back here. If your demo goes down, then you need to get the fuck to the front corner here. When you're holding this front corner, you want to be hugging this wall to reduce damage from any heavies coming up that way. You want to be spending as much time looking down there. You shouldn't have to spy check behind you, and in fact you need your eyes forwards. You're just going to have to trust your team to get you not stabbed. But hopefully they should be able to do that, because there's really not that many places for a spy to decloak. I have known spies to decloak down here. One thing when you're standing here is be very aware that if someone comes round here and hugs the wall under here, then it can be very hard to pick them up until it's quite late. So just be very aware of that. Occasionally move forwards, keep an eye on people moving around this corner. If you go back for any reason, be aware that there's a gap in your defense and someone might have slipped through. So yeah, just think about that one. What else? Fist wise, on a personal preference, I run Fists of Steel on this point for a kind of a timely withdrawal. I wouldn't say they're definitely better than GRU. Being able to run out fast isn't a bad thing here, but my general take is when you're retreating from this point, even if say you drop down here and go out this way, you're going through a very hot area to escape. So I think having the extra durability, especially as hopefully you should be escaping with your medic in front of you healing you while you tank a load of damage for him, so yeah, can be alright. There is of course various places you can hide while you're retreating and try and get an ambush. Again, that's very much a judgment call. It depends if you've got a good roof defense set up and if you want to go for that. If you don't have Uber advantage and you want to make something happen, then that can be viable. If they've got an Uber, you want them to either pop early or you want to get the med so that they don't just have an Uber to roll onto the top of the roof, then that's probably legitimate. If Ubers are even, or if you don't have a good setup on roof, get the fuck back to roof. You're much more useful staying alive on defense. So yeah, usual defensive thing here is you don't want to trade. In some cases I'll trade heavy for heavy. If I'm attacking this point, I'll trade heavy for heavy. Absolute no-brainer. But if you're on defense, stay alive. Biggest thing you can do is just stay alive. There's some jumps around here onto those rocks. You should practice them, not because they're going to be used every time, but getting around onto these rocks is some interesting cover. It can be used. If you're doing last-ditch defenses here, or if you're trying to reclaim stuff, then firing around this can be amazing cover. We've got a horizontal surface next to a ramp, which is always good for abuse. You can't see a damn thing of someone hiding behind this. It can be used on both sides. Although, again, while you're doing that, watch for decloaks. There's corners here and here where spies will love to stab you, so don't commit too heavily to that. This little ridge here, if you're retreating or if someone's attacking from the top, can be used. Ducking under that is effective. Where's my duck key? Is that duck? No. Is this duck? I don't even know where duck is right now. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you get a picture. Okay, so it'll normally be down to your NG to call when you need to get the hell out of here. Although if your NG's down, then it's probably going to be up to either you or the demo or the medic or whoever to call whether the NG should come back in to set up. That is a very big decision. There are no hard and fast rules to, say who's up and who's down as to whether your NG should come back in. What I would say is don't just out of habit say, okay, we've lost it, let's pull back. Being aggressive and reclaiming this can get lots of extra time on the clock. But of course, the flip side is if you lose your roof hold, that's kind of sad because the roof hold is a pretty good hold. But I mean, this first hold is really fucking solid as well. So yeah. One thing to watch out for, just in general team sense, is soldiers going behind and doing a zoob, just like hanging out at spawn with the black box and harassing people. Nothing you can do about that. If you're at spawn, I would recommend you don't chase the soldier unless you really think you've got good chances of killing him. Leave that to scouts and shit. You should be able to get out and reinforce this point. If you are knobbing around trying to deal with a soldier at your spawn, then whatever defense is up here just isn't going to hold. So yeah, retreating with your medic, make sure the medic's in front of you, obviously. Try and tank damage for him. When you're retreating, look out for jumpers coming on your medic. Getting sniped down here, like you'll often take a headshot or whatever while going down this alley, but you know, whatever. You just want to get to roof as fast as possible. So point 2. Okay, again on point 2, let's just, you know, we'll talk about point 2 in a second, but getting to point 2, say if you've died and you need to cross up here. Again, there is a very big decision between taking Gru and Fists of Steel on this life. In fact, I think this is one of the maps where like the Gru Fists of Steel decision is one of the biggest. So yeah, you want that bound and you want to be thinking about it, because okay, if they've got a sniper who's going to be looking down this alley, then I'd say you 100% want Fists of Steel, because you can collect a headshot on the way through and it doesn't matter. If there's not someone looking down this alley, it's like say if your sniper's here and he's got a lockdown on it, then maybe you want Gru to get up to roof faster. Yeah, so try and cycle through the death cams, well, not the death cams, the live cams of your compatriots, and work out what is best for you. There's a lot of factors. Coming up here, be wary of these corners. Spies love to stab you. Spies hanging around here can be a problem. Whenever you're coming out here, don't just run up to roof. Either spin up and look down here, because it's very bad, say, if you're gruing straight up to roof and like if no one else is watching the back stairs, then getting picked up here before you actually get to roof is just fucking horrible. I mean, at least you can tell your friends that yes, there's people at the back stairs, but by that time it might well be too late. Okay, so holding up here. The normal formation that I've seen happen is Demoman holding the front stairs, just because with the confined spaces, a Demoman can be absolutely brutal there. If a Demoman is successfully holding the front stairs, then it actually gives you some quite interesting options for holding the back stairs. My favourite spot to hold the back stairs is here. Because you can pick people up as soon as they come out of the doors, and you're always twitching. There's not an obvious place for a spy to decloak and try and stab you. The spy can try and decloak back here. There's even a bit back here where spies can decloak. Be aware of that. So even when you're here, it's not like you're completely safe. I don't so much like being here to hold. The problem with being here is you want to be looking down here at the door to know when they're out as soon as possible. But if you're doing this, you constantly have to be twitching, because if you're standing there, then just like down here is a prime spy decloak spot. So if you're kind of holding near the health pack and the ammo, you're going to have issues with where people are coming out. If you're back here, then you're in a position to go to the front to help your demo if he's having issues. If their combo hits the front stairs with an Uber, you can get out of the way pretty quickly and hit the back stairs and kind of cower. You'll even find yourself being over here and just like giving shit to people who are coming up here. But yeah, good communication with your pyro, because he'll also be watching the back stairs. Because if they attack from the rear, then obviously you want your pyro to be coming from here, air blasting people off so they can't do anything. Another big thing to look out for here is your soldier should be looking after the health pack around the back of trash and attacking. So what your soldier and demo will be doing is your demo will be edging down these stairs and like threatening the lobby. Your soldier should be looking from that health pack and also threatening the lobby. So you've got a kind of really horrible pincer action with your demo and soldier, which should be getting them to pop really, really early. Or, you know, you should know if they're coming through. But that's not a guaranteed hard hold. So, I mean, good communication should let you know if anything's coming up the back, but you just hanging around here and just plugging any gaps is a really good thing as well anyway. Lots of cover to abuse here. If things have gone awry and you don't have the perfect set of defense, then ducking behind these things and behind these crates. You've got amazing cover for shooting enemy heavy and medics coming up the stairs. You should be able to hold them off for a while, although if things have gone to shit in that way, the front stairs might not be held, so watch out for people coming through there. You shouldn't have to look out for jumpers too much, because your NG should be holding things down from the front, but if your NG is wrangling for whatever reason, then you may have to shoot jumpers. So be aware of how you're going to get to jumpers fastest. Like, if someone's on your NG, think about where your fastest route around there is going to be and how you're going to threaten that. What else about defending this point? Watch out for soldiers jumping up onto the top of this. A very effective way to attack this point is you don't come out here. While you're timing, well, I mean, if say your combo's coming out here, or if your combo's coming through there with an Uber, excuse me, a really nice thing to do is send your soldier into this area down here, but don't come out this door, that's probably been watched. You send him out the other door, which is very difficult to watch in an effective way, and he can just bounce up onto the top of this thing and start splashing your medic, splashing your NG, whatever, and the gun might not be able to see him if the gun is in the usual spot. So just be aware that shit can happen over here. Yeah. In fact, should I be talking about attacking points as I go through? I probably should. Go on, let's hit to attacking first point and talk about that. Then we'll get to attacking second as well. Yeah. Doopy-doo. Of course, feel free to ask questions or add anything. We've got experienced heavies in here. If you have something to add to this, do just pitch in. So yeah, coming out of spawn. I will normally come out of here and here. Usual stuff before the round begins. Be waiting at the grate to see what's happening. Common demo spots, which you should be able to see if you're paying attention, are in that lamp. I hate that crap. There's various bits of wall all around here where stickies can be hidden and you can't see them. Also on this wall is also a common one. So yeah, on this
and
one...
also the bushes.
Yeah, in the bushes. Although, I mean, that's not so much your problem. You shouldn't be going around the area. But, yeah, from this door, you should be able to clock if the demo's doing anything around here. If you don't see stickies going up around here, then they're probably going to be on that rock up there or maybe on that corner. Doesn't matter, we'll work it out. Depending on how your team wants to play it, there's a number of options about how you attack point 1. Kritzkrieg is plausible if your demo wants to Hail Mary one up from here. What I would say about this initial attack is it's all about timing. It's all about getting your entire team to come out as... well, you actually have to stagger getting into position. Okay, so... what was it, maybe a year ago, people started thinking, okay, let's not just have our jumpers just jumping in willy-nilly, let's have the soldier and the demo timing themselves so that when they jump in, they're both together. You could even have your... In fact, when you could build your level 3 sentry just in there, it was also you'd have your NG jumping in as well. So you'd have demo, soldier and NG just jumping in. The NG's just there as a complete distraction. Maybe you'll get some with a shotgun, but fuck knows. But it was kind of awesome just sentry jumping in, because what the hell else is your NG doing? Actually, that's not true. Your NG can be setting stuff in tunnel, but... Okay, here's what I'd advise and what's been working for us. You tell your soldier and your demo not to do anything until you've got into position up here. You get into position up here. You then wait for the spy to get into position. If the spy gets in a reasonable position to sap, then you go for it. If your spy isn't in position, then you can just go with demo, heavy and soldier. Meanwhile, the rest of this time, your scout's pushing, your sniper's vying for position, but you're waiting for that call. Once you're up here, you tell and you're kind of comfortably in position, you tell your soldier and demo that you're ready, and you just chill here, you wait for stuff to happen. You can peek if you want, but I personally think leaving them not knowing is better. As soon as you hear the jump has happened, you start running. Because once they're in, whoever was watching this corner suddenly isn't watching this corner anymore. So you can get all the way to here without any resistance. They'll be looking upwards, they'll be shooting demos, they'll be shooting soldiers. It's very much a case of getting the timing right on this one, because I mean ideally you'd love to have made it to here by the time that your jumpers go in, so everyone's distracted and you get a maximum time of shooting shit, but that's not always the case, so you know, play it by ear, but use your jumpers as a distraction to get in. If you can kill people here, that's great. Don't bother with the gun over there, you won't do enough damage to mean for shit. Hopefully the medic should be close. You'd either like to kill him or get a pop out of him. If you get the pop out of the medic and die on that initial run with the jumpers, fucking fantastic, you've done good. What I would say is, if the first jumper run doesn't work, then you've got some decisions to make about either bringing out your medic to try and trade Uber for Uber, then dry push it, but keep timing stuff together. If your team gets a bit disgruntled and everyone just keeps trying shit and someone isn't calling when you're going to be pushing as a team, then you can stall on this point for a very long time. Unless people are getting kills and getting frags, that's when this point can really fall apart. And yeah, so keep with like timing things, keeping people in sync. If you stagger into this point, that can hold it for a very, very long time. If the initial jump play doesn't work, then you're going to be trying various ways to push this. If you've got, like, say, a pyro down and you're pushing from top, or even if you don't have a pyro down and you're going to try and trade Ubers at this point, if you walk around this corner as a heavy, it's very easy for you to get picked up by a pyro. They might counter Uber, or you're not going to get very much done because they're going to be far away. I would advise have the Uber go with other classes. What you can do that's very effective as a heavy is you drop down here, get into position, and jump up. Oh god, jumping onto this. Let me just see if I can do this. Yeah, jumping onto this rock is a great place to shoot from. If you're on this rock, you've got a great field of fire over here. It's hard for them to put in damage over there. What I would say is spies love to hang out over there. So if you're doing this whole rock gig, just be very wary of getting backstabbed. Also getting sniped from over there, that's kind of embarrassing. But you know, you can like hug it in a bit closer to nullify that effect. Other things you can do, because okay, so this corner's and this whole point's been played out to such a massive extent that there's various things like I'm not even going to try it, but jumping onto that rock there can be quite effective. You can actually get a really good field of fire if you're just like helping, putting in dings of damage and such, so can be worth a look. Pushing up the right side, I wouldn't advise it as your go-to maneuver. The problem you're going to have as a heavy pushing up this side is by the time you're here, you're going to be taking sentry gun damage. There's going to be a sniper over here, and this whole area is just really not your friend, essentially. Going from cliff, you'll just find so much more rewarding, I suspect. It should also be noted that you can jump up from here onto cliff, and you should abuse that at some point. As with lots of pushing points, you're not the main pushing force on this one, so don't worry too much about that. You're going to be like needling, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your team to get in position. If some of your team are dead, then holding on this corner right back here at the top of these kind of spiral ramp is very legit. Like if you're staring off a demo and you're dinging him for damage, you're running back maybe having a sandwich, if you're just tying up their demo and meaning that people are looking at you on the front and they're not actually getting anything other useful done, then that's actually legitimate. You can't really advance through here. Oh yeah, always look out for stickies here, always look out for spies here as well. This rock is a pain in the ass essentially when you're pushing with your team, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, pushing this corner when the pyro is up and the medic's got full Uber is probably going to be pretty painful because you're probably going to get blasted off. But yeah, pushing this point is often a case of you just have to wait for shit to happen. One thing that often happens is a tunnel push. Talking about that, that'll be a case of NG sets up in here, your demo either goes with crits or regular Uber and starts splashing up at the top. Your options are, I wouldn't go all the way out. If you go out, you're very vulnerable as a heavy. Often what I do is I let some other classes go out, and if their team are idiots, they'll drop down to take care of the other classes, then you can hose them from the tunnel mouth. Also, if you can get an angle on the gun to shoot it while the gun can't shoot you, that's definitely worth a look. Although, don't do that when you're on your own. You won't put in enough damage to kill it. Like, only do that if you've got either a soldier or a demo to support you. Yeah, and while you're doing this, of course, watch out, because you probably are going to die. This is dodgy as hell, essentially. The only way you're going to get away with this is if you've got other people pressuring from other angles, and yeah, that can kind of work, though. Yeah, basically you don't want to be fighting down here. If a tunnel push is going well, there's fighting up there, things are in chaos, get out of this area as fast as possible. Once you start coming up here, you might find a sniper you can get, there might be reinforcements you can get, you can start coming up here and you've got good cover for actually attacking the top. So this is actually a pretty good playground for you. Although, as ever, lots and lots of spy decloak spots, so yeah, very much watch out for that. once this point is falling, until you know this point is 100% absolutely secure, I normally still run out cliff or run out tunnel. Just because if you run out cliff or tunnel, then it's much harder for people to pick you up on the way through to where you're going. Although I mean that's if you die. If your team gets this, then rushing the next point is very, very big. The way you want to rush the next point is even before this is capped. If you can get your team going out this way, if you can get your combo to this corner before that point's capped and before they have a reasonable roof set up, then you can hold this. You don't want to come out here unless you've got your demo with you and he can start sticking up this area. But I mean, you know, if you can get this far, great. This is like if you get a complete wipe. Normally you won't manage to get a complete wipe. You might manage to get to here. If they've got people on roof, then if you say got a soldier with you who can like cover if there's an NG setting up, or if you've got your demo who can splash up there, then it is plausible for you to try and hold this corner and pick up people coming around there, but it's going to be dangerous. Could go either way. Probably worth the risk, just because if you completely shut them out of this point, then it's absolutely wonderful. Let's assume that they've got a set up defense on second and your attack has failed once or whatever, and you're trying to work out how to push second. Let me just grab some ammo. Firstly, I'd say you need a good staging area. You need to make sure that this area around here is your team's. If they can push out of there with a demo or whatever, or if they've got people running down here and like your sniper isn't safe while he's trying to shoot their other sniper down there, then this is not going to go well for you at all. You want your NG set up with a gun here, you want a dispenser down there, you want your medic to be safely charging up his Uber back here, you want this area here. Ideally you'd like your sniper to take out their sniper. If you're just chilling here, I think having your medic just constantly overhealing your sniper to let him win the sniper fight is amazing. Once you get their sniper down, classes like your demo or soldier or whoever, even your sniper, can start coming in this way and harassing, which can be very effective. While you're doing that, you're generally going to be holding down this area. Now, committing to lobby is a big thing. In fact, let me just walk around so we can get in there. Can we get in there? The door isn't open yet. What if I jump down the back side? I think I probably can. Okay,
no, I think it's closed. Let's just start the.
Sure, let's ready it up.
Config.
What could?
Turn off the thing.
Oh god, we can't even get in around the back. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to ready up so we push the car to the first point.
Okay, cool.
3, 2, 1.
In fact, I'll stay on red. Who cares? In fact. Oh, when you're coming out of spawn, do check your sides. Like, it may sound like a silly thing, but a spy might go the distance. This is red spawn, that is. The spy might go the distance to camp out there. Also, just soldiers there. Like, if there's a soldier who's made it there without being clocked, you shouldn't have a problem with that. If you're checking and you're not getting surprised, then you should be able to take damage from a soldier, go into spawn, whatever, get health again. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. But anyway, in fact, I should probably be on Gru. Whatever, when I next spawn. Okay, so what can we do while we're waiting for the cart to get over here? Okay, so you ideally want to be able to take this area here. To take this area inside inside the kind of lobby area, I believe it's called in this map, they're going to have their demo on the stairs. You need to make the stairs hot for their demo so he doesn't want to be shooting down there. You can do that by having your demo there, or, you know, once you're a soldier there, whoever, just so he doesn't want to be that far forwards. Although on those stairs to the right, just up there, be careful of stickies, because that's where their demo should be holding. Their soldier, if he's playing the regular meta, will be at the back of trash over that side, so he's also a consideration. But I mean, yeah, it depends what your flank's doing. It's going to be quite hard for you to tell if... what the hell is that? It's a Christmas bauble rolling around the floor? I don't even know. Doesn't matter. Let's just get the cart in and I can actually show you. Oh, it's from the Rap Assassin, of course.
Yeah.
I was like, is that part of the hats now dropping on the floor again? My god, revolutionary. But no, all is well. Okay, attacking into lobby. Coming in here, you need to be careful about demo men spamming down there. You need to be careful about soldiers hiding in the back of trash. Getting either your scout or your solly to clear out this back of trash area and make sure that's yours is a very big thing. Holding it is also a very big thing. How you push this area very much depends on Uber advantages and such. If you know they have Uber and you've got Uber, well, in fact, if you both got Uber, then it's a question where is best to go. If you come up this way, they might just block you in here with Uber, but then you can have an Uber exchange and you can get out and you can try and make some play happen here. If they've got Uber and you don't, then coming up this front side is going to be suicide, but you can still do it to try and get them to pop, that's fine. Also the back is viable. If you have Uber and they don't, then 100% come up the front stairs, because the worst that's going to confront you is a pyro blowing you back in here, and if you've got your demo with you, you should be able to kill the pyro and get out onto roof with the Uber. What I would say is if the other option is going around the back. Now round the back is a bit of a surprise tactic. This very much depends on whether they see you early. To do this, you want maybe your demo like threatening front, so that it looks like that's where the push is coming from. Once you're out here, have a look round. If you haven't been spotted, this is good to go. If you get to here and you haven't been spotted yet, then this push is on. What you've got to watch out for though is the pyro here. If you get blown off roof by that, then the Uber's going to have gone, they're going to know where you are, it's going to turn into a mess. So yeah, you want to time it with your demo coming from the front, your soldier maybe jumping up on that back, so that the pyro isn't watching this area. You don't want him to be like onto that. If he is onto that, then there are other options. If there's just a general mess of things happening, you're pushing up this way. If they've got a really strong roof defense up there, but maybe people on your team are down, coming into this area is actually pretty good. You can often jump down to here and take out their sniper.
Hello.
Also, once you're kind of in these, oh hey there, if you're in this kind of back area and you're killing folk, then you're actually a pretty big nuisance. They're going to draw people back, and you know, if people are coming down these stairs to deal with you, this is actually a pretty good heavy playground. Close quarters, minigun action, yeah, delicious, why not? So yeah, that is another kind of plausible thing for attacking. There'll often be a telly on top of the box. There's a pain for you to shoot. I'm not even sure it's worth you wasting your time doing that. But you know, then again, while you're shooting it, people can't come out. If you're pushing up front stairs onto roof, be very careful of snipers. This is a great place to get shot, especially if you're medic as well, so just be very wary of crossing up over here. If you actually hug this wall to over here and then move across, then you can't really be sniped. But if you move straight across here, you can be sniped. So yeah, just think about the angles from that sniper spot down there. If their sniper's up, then, you know, it's a thought. While you're attacking this, again, if say you've got your guys coming in and the cart is almost capped, you've broken the roof defense, there's a question as to whether jump down and pursue here, or the other question is, do you want to kind of come down these stairs? I'll often come down these stairs just because coming down from here, people won't be expecting you from this angle. If they've got someone trying to be cheeky hiding in here, then you're going to kind of flip that round on them and clear them out. So yeah, worth a thought. As we briefly talked earlier, if you're attacking, then shutting down this spawn and stopping them from reinforcing is also a great thing. But yeah, don't commit too crazily heavy to that. Okay, third point. Let's talk about defense on third. Depending on how much time you have to set up and who you have with you, will depend where you're holding. There's kind of a few locations you can hold here. Back here is one option. This is not the best option though. If you're back here, you're kind of quite far away from snipers. So watch out for that. Another kind of slightly further forward hold, if you have a bit more control, is on the stairs here. These stairs are good cover. You still have a chance to run away from people coming out of that one. Like if the noob comes out of there, you've actually got a chance to get out.
But you have to mind the pipe spam for the demo man.
Yes.
You can throw them off
Certainly, he
Over
can
the
like,
roof.
put them over the roof and
Then you
stuff.
drop the medic.
My favoured place for the combo to hold is really far forwards, proper aggressive up here. If you've got the gun up there, then the gun is covering down here. You can support that very easily by jumping up on this railing and shooting down. It's worth noting that in the last big change to this one, you can shoot through these railings now. Bullets and projectiles go straight through them, though you can't walk through them. If you're up here, the spy will find it very difficult to jump on your combo. Your flank can go into the engine room really easily, or machine room, whatever you want to call this. You don't want to come this far forwards. If you're holding up here, then if you know there's snipers out of it, or you can even just peek here and actually put huge amounts of damage into and turn that area into an awkward area with your demo kind of coming from that room over there, whatever. It's very hard to displace, but you only really want to hold up here if you have 100% got uber advantage. Because if they uber into you when you're up here, then things are going to turn very bad. The other thing about being up here is, if sniper appears in that window, you don't want to take him on face to face. It could be quite dangerous. Although, in a desperate circumstance, you can do the whole jumping around here while ducking repeatedly and fucking him up. But yeah, you kind of call him, get one of your flank to deal with it. But so unlike the other two areas, if you're back here, if sniper goes uncontested up there, you just have to pull out because you can't do anything. You actually have to hide behind this corner. If you're far forwards up here, then you're still in a very aggressive, awkward to deal with defensive stance, and the sniper can't displace you. So that's pretty cool as well. Also, if you're holding here, you can just look through this window and see if they're coming that way. So it's like there's absolutely no surprises in them coming from house. You see them so early, which basically limits where they can push out with their Uber. Because, if you push out with an Uber from down below, that's very, very awkward to do. Pushing this point is a pain in the ass at the best of times. And if your team is really nicely established up here, then yeah, going to have massive, massive problems. Did you manage to jump onto that roof? I didn't know you could get up there.
I jumped on someone's head.
Ah, okay. I was going to say, I've tried many, many hours to get on that goddamn roof, and I never worked out how to do it. I was going to be like, oh my god, you're a genius. How did you do it? No. Okay, well that's sad. Something which is interesting, but maybe pointless, is a sniper with the huntsman. From the roof of second, he can lob arrows into that window. I've got a video on it. It's probably pointless. But
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, if there's an NG set up in there and their sniper is completely locking down your sniper, well, it works. You can, it's worth, if your sniper, has time to practice that and can get arrows into that window 100% of the time, then fuck yeah, why not use that shit? Okay, defending this. You probably won't ever want to go up there, just because you've not got a great field of fire. And if you're over there, things have probably gone quite wrong. Because, if they're far back and the sniper's taken care of, then you can be back here. If they've got uber advantage and you think they're going to push through house, if you're back here, they have to pop really early. You can just run back and chill. They're going to have to try and deal with that gun. And the gun in that window with level 3 is really hard to displace. And just, this is actually one of the more interesting points. For the first maybe couple of years of this being played in Highlander, this was considered one of the weakest points, and people didn't actually bother to defend it. These days, I'd say this is the strongest hold on this map. If you can get a good third hold set up, this can last forever.
What the fuck? This is stronger than last.
Yeah, this hold is rock hard. If you always have uber advantage with your combo up here, and you've got the level 3 in that window, and you've got your sniper, either locking down their sniper, your sniper's down here, your sniper's shutting out main, you've got your sniper has the option to shut down main or look up there, you've got your flank holding the engine room. How do you push this point? It's fucking
they have
hideous.
to uber early every time. And
Yeah,
you can
have
wait
to,
for it.
If they try and uber through house, you just body block them. They've got nothing. If they try and uber from over here, well, that shit never works. Where are you going to go from there? It's horrible. If you uber from below, you've got this hideous distance to cover to take window. And they've got full Uber, just hanging above you up here. When you're up here, it's really hard for the spy to get your medic. how's the sniper going to get your medic? What are they going to? They're not going to bomb your medic. Are they going to try and come up below and then jump up from below when the sentry gun's shooting them? A setup defense on this point is absolutely fucking hideous. I don't have a formula for defeating it. It's really, really difficult. You need to get picks or let them make an error.
Or you need all the team to just shoot the gun.
Yeah, you need to get the gun down. But the thing is, right?
You don't need the gun. You need the engineer. Like the engineer is the key pick.
Yes, I'd say that. But I mean, even if you get that, taking out the gun isn't that easy. If you get a sniper in position to defend the gun, and like say, if you've got uber advantage and you want to spend that to get the gun back up, then you can re-establish this point quite easily. Like just getting the gun down, unless you've actually dealt with the combo lurking up here, then you get the gun down, but you still can't move into this area. This is still like a dead zone that you can't enter. So it's hard. And in fact, let's talk about attacking this point right now, because this is an absolute fucking mess attacking this point. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know how to effectively attack a well set up position. If they've got uber, if you come out from up here, you are just gonna die. You can needle from here, but like if the gun's out there, then you're not gonna have any luck at all. Yeah, can we exec the config so the map doesn't end? That would be great. Okay. Yeah, you can't push out of here. You don't want to go through the engine room, just because if you go through that way, you really can't do anything. Like, if you get out up here, like, honestly, what are you going to do from here? You're going to be getting shot by their sniper from over there. There might be a soldier up there just shooting you. It's messy. It's really horrible. Let me just work out how I can jump over here. Come on.
Not working!
You can do it, Rusky. Just jump off the... Oh god, yes, we're good. Man, this is a pain in the ass in one hand. So yeah.
Config?
Config?
Yeah. Anyone? I've tried exiting it and de-exiting it.
Oh god. Oh well. We can
Put
just...
tournament mode to 0.
No, the technology is confounding us. Oh, I guess we could. Yeah. So what you want to do as heavy on this point, attacking it, is lock down this area here. You want to make sure that they can't be pushing up beyond here. Holding on these stairs is great. It means that they can't easily push out through there. If they want to expend an uber to get onto you, that's fine. It means that you can make life for snipers down here very difficult. Snipers love to hang out down here, and it's a massive pain in the ass. You basically need a sniper pick to start making anything happen. Once you get a sniper pick, then you might want to push in the combo with the uber from down below. If you're pushing in the combo with the uber from down below, the heavy can, hey, we're good. The heavy can take cover in the cart and get it pushed. Your demo can try and get stuff into that window. You probably don't want to be on the uber here, unless like you can get in really close and you've got an uber advantage, just because all of the distances, like, at best you're getting mid to long range dings in, so you're not going to get much done. What you want to be doing is pushing the cart, and if your demo has gone in Ubered, then there's going to be cleaning up for you to do. Also, if your demo's gone in Ubered, they might send an Uber to counter him and get in his face, in which case your job's going to be like checking this railing, making sure that you can take out anyone who's up there.
Also,
yeah.
if they're not above you, like hug the wall. Like there's no need for you to be up here showing yourself.
It depends if you're with the cart.
Yeah.
I mean, hugging the wall can be alright, but you're still going to be taking damage from the SG if it's focusing you. But yeah, I mean, you can get in closer. And yeah, it depends. If you can like put in damage, I'd say put in that damage. And do you know what? If you're doing a big push and the enemy wants to start shooting you, then that's not a bad thing, because hopefully they're not going to manage to put in so much damage to kill you. You've got another health pack back here. Although, I mean, again, once you're like over here, or if you're pushing on this way, you've got to look out for, say, spies jumping down from behind and getting you.
Yeah, but it's like a dead hole. You don't have the high ground. The demoman can just spam you. The sentry is up there.
Yeah, unless the rest of your team is with you as a heavy, you're pretty fucking useless on this point. There's no way that you can make shit happen on your own here. It's just, there's nothing. That way you'll get sniped. If you come through main, you're going to take a sentry gun to the face, and if you come through that door, you just, the distances you have to cover. I mean, of course, this is assuming that like they haven't got crucial members down. If you get crucial picks, then you know, play it by ear, make shit happen. But yeah, it's an awkward thing. once you're pushing this point, what I would say is, or in fact, if you're rushing from the last point, because the best thing to do to get past this point is not let them ever set up here. As soon as it looks like you're capping second, like leave a skeleton crew to cap and take this corner. What I'd say is, if you're advancing this far to fight, don't move around this corner. Don't be fighting here. Don't fight them on this ground. This is quite bad for you and good for them. What you want to be doing is, if you're say back up here and your demo man's just like say over here putting stickies on this corner, they can't come around this corner. So if you just shut them out of this point, this is all you want to do, like if you're like doing the rush from the second cap, because yeah, like if you're trying to go further, then this is ground you don't need to take until this has been capped here, you see. Okay, so let's talk about defense on last. There is a couple of popular sentry spots here. One sentry spot is under this overhang, we just call it overhang. The other is on ramp. To be fair, you also sometimes see sentry guns up top, but they're a lot less common. In lower divs you'll see sentry guns under this overhang. Sentry guns under that overhang are an absolutely fucking terrible idea. Mainly because as a heavy attacking, if you know there is a sentry gun under this overhang, then you don't even need Uber, you just need to drop out of that window and kill the NG or kill the gun, and it's just that easy, job done.
Do teams still use the teleport as strategy since the rescue ranger has come into play?
Yes, there is some amount of teleporting between these two. I am somewhat wary of that just because okay, so here's the thing. When do you end up teleporting your gun? When they are pushing in. When do you want your gun set up and not fucking building from, like, you know, you've just laid it down, is also when they're pushing. So with NG teleporting guns, it's plausible, but yeah, you need to know the disadvantages of that. Also, like, if the spy is, you know, using cloak and dagger and sees the NGs looking for that teleport, then if the spy is on the ball, then it's just like, well, he can just sap and it's just not an issue at all, like really nothing at all, because the NG is not going to be near enough to it, and yeah, that can completely wipe out a defense. So yeah, sure, do it, but I'd say those teleporting tactics are fancy. I think they're a little bit dodgy, and I'm not sure you get enough payoff for the risk.
I think it has died out a bit since the rescue ranger has come to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's still useful, like, as a kind of gimmick tactic, but I mean, yeah, why not, right? Okay, so places you can hold. If you've got your sniper in shadow, then holding on this corner is plausible, although I don't do it very often. I think personally coming around this corner, unless your team is pushing onto them and just being aggressive because you've got uber advantage and you want to spend it, then yeah, coming around this corner is normally kind of shonky. If you have uber advantage, then chances are you want to be holding on this ramp. If you're holding on this ramp, what you are doing is you are backup for your demo. Your demo is going to be taking all the heals and doing work around this corner. What you're going to be doing is keeping an eye out for people jumping down from there and also backing up your demo. If they try to get onto your demo, you are your demo's escape plan. And yeah, they shouldn't be able to do it. Like, if they pop onto you, then you just pop in return, Ubers are exchanged, whatever. What you don't want to happen if you're back here is for them to pop your Uber. So just be very, very aware of that. Also, don't ever hold this ramp unless your demo is on board and knows exactly what you're doing. If you're here on your own with a medic, you can get popped way too easily. If you're here on your own without even a medic, then you are going to die on this ramp. This is a great place to die. Things to be aware of on this ramp. If your demo is kind of covering that direction, you've again got some horizontal cover next to a ramp here, which means if they're pushing around tyres, then you've got a great defensive stance here, although you've got to be very wary about looking over there. If you don't own this ramp, or if you have uber disadvantage, then the place you probably want to hold is like back here, because if they Uber in, the place that you're going to run is up these stairs. Because say an Uber comes in, if you run up here, they cannot chase you, and you can keep your medic safe, assuming that, you know, no scout or whatever jumps in on top of these stairs. That's something you've got to be aware of. Scouts and soldiers coming through this way, they love to do that shit. Oh, it's worth noting that you can actually walk along these things and get to strange positions. Like, this is walkable along. I'm not even going to try with my current jumping issues. Unless they've changed that. Have they? Let me try it, in fact.
Might be this level.
Yeah, on this, I was just something where the combo is going to be.
Maybe they've changed
not
that.
the combo,
Sorry, say again?
where the flank is going to be, like your soldier and the scout, where is going to hang out, like on that side, on the
It'll
map, or
normally
this side?
okay. Your flank has to cover each other, and they have to be a little bit thinly spread. Normally, the way I've seen it done is you have your soldier kind of pushing from map room and looking after stuff up there, and your scout will be just running around tires. Let me just get up here. This tyres area is actually a really good playground for Scout, because he has a couple of health packs to cycle between, and he has a really easy escape route. He has a nice wide open space to play around here. He can come forwards and needle from here if he so desires. This is great scouting territory. So Scout back here, soldier up in map room, just because, again, with map room, it's very suited towards a soldier. They have to come through chokes where he can splash lots and lots of rockets, and he again has the soldier escape route jumping up onto that balcony that, say, heavies and such can't follow. So that's very nice for him. Your sniper will generally be like on one of the spawn entrances, although if you're feeling very aggressive, having him coming up in the shadow is again a plausible thing. Yeah, so we talked about when they Uber in and you have Uber and you're close. If you're far back, yeah, what they'll be doing is, it depends what their Uber tends to focus their attention on. If they want to chase you, that's fine, you just keep running up there. If they want to focus on the gun, either it being there or there, you just retreat up until they kind of have run out of steam, and then you can just jump in and start taking this again. What I'd say is, if they have lots of people in here, then coming from stairs, as long as you don't, say, get a demo man locking you out with stickies, with your medic being safe, like just back there and healing you, you can tank a lot of damage. You can, guys, don't kill each other, please. You can, yeah, you can really retake stuff quite easily from here. Other things to talk about. One thing to do is hiding in this corner is actually massively effective. If their Uber comes in and you just happen to be hanging here because you're waiting for other people to get on stairs or whatever, then lurking back here is amazing. And when you're lurking back here and the Uber's in, you just need to chill and do absolutely nothing until the Uber's gone. What has happened in many games is, for whatever reasons, I'll get caught back here, let the Uber do its thing, let that fade, don't come out, don't shoot. What will happen is you'll come out here, you'll pick up an engine, a scout who just happens to be pushing the cart around this corner. Their combo will have gone really far forwards to get this kind of hold, and then you just start shooting people from back here, and suddenly their combo is kind of sandwiched. They have to deal with you, but if they're dealing with you, they're not dealing with people coming out of spawn, the people coming from above. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yep, I'll catch you later, boss guard. It'll be up on the YouTubes, hopefully. I'm not sure when I'm going to get a chance to upload it. Probably on Monday. Damn, because I'm not going to have time today. Oh well, that's interesting. Yeah, other things. If there's a last-ditch attempt to hold this point, you need to have it sorted. There's various ways to cycle your spawn ticks. And what I mean by that is, you know, you can spawn up top or you can spawn down below. If you're doing a last-ditch defense, you want to spawn down below. It's just much more useful. If you spawn down below, you're not sniper bait, you're not gonna, like, they'll normally have people covering those top spawns. The bottom spawn is much harder to cover and much better for you to work as a heavy. What I use is the two buttons I have bound to my different loadouts to change between Gru and Fists of Steel. I will just press those until I get a spawn tick down here. When I come out down here, what I will do is I will come to exactly here, and when you are here, you can hose the cart like a beast, and they will find it very, very hard to displace you. It's hard to see a heavy here. It's just very awkward. In fact, could you just go down there and just start shooting out of there, you know, as if, like, at the limit of what you can see? Look, there's a head down there. Look at that shit. Look how camouflaged that is. If I get a bit further back, you can barely see that, yet apart from directly behind the cart, he's covering that shit. So in terms of last-ditch defences, that is awesome. What else to look out for here? Don't keep hoovering up this ammo when you don't need to. Use the dispenser. The NG is definitely going to want that ammo. Retreating up here is good. Watch out for spies coming in here. Blah blah blah. What else to say? I think that might largely be it on defense. Can you guys think of anything that I'm missing?
When you push in,
Yeah.
do you try to take the whole upper area before you sort of bomb in? 'Cause
Well,
a lot
okay,
of the
let's-
time, it feels like the combo will jump down in amongst the enemy, but then you can't really do anything. You get stuck. You can't get out. There's too many players to
Yeah.
focus.
We'll get to that in a second when we do attacking. But just is there any other kind of comments or questions on defense?
Do you like going up the spiral staircase and then like wrapping round, like if they're up top here on the overhang?
Lewis?
Is it worth? Hello, friend.
Just, I don't like your mic.
I'm sorry. My Astros are having a fit.
Rude. Yeah. Can you wrap round? Wrapping round is something that's plausible, but it's risky. What I mean by that is, if the person who can call whether it's good for you to wrap round is not you, because you don't have enough information in there. If your team is prepped that might be something you're going to do, and say a soldier out here or someone can call that'd be a really good idea for you to do, then yes, it can be very effective. The problem with it is, it takes actually quite a while to run up there and do that run around. And if you do all that and you get to here and they're pushing the cart in the hole, then you feel like a bit of a tit, because you've just wasted all that time running up here and not actually got much mileage for it. I mean, also, like, it depends where their sniper is. If their sniper's over here, like, you know, if he's kind of covering stuff and you come out of there, then it's not brilliant, you know. I don't think it's worth it personally. I think playing it solid and being ready to push back out as soon as their Uber fades so you can support the rest of your team, I think there's more mileage in that. But I don't know, it's the kind of play that can work big if you get it, but can tank hard. It's high risk, high reward, so it's going to be up to you whether you take that. Personally, playing in Prem, I do not do high risk, high reward. If I am alive and supporting the demo and keeping the medic alive, for me, I think that's a much better way to play, like at high level. What you'll find is the kind of heavy who makes plays like that, like the risky stuff, it can work, but there's a big either luck factor or like you need fucking blinding communication from your team to make sure you're doing the right thing. Because if you make a play and you die for no cost, then say on defense like this, you've just made your team much weaker just for, you know, for the chance of you like wrecking them. It's a weird one. It's for you to decide. I'd say in lower divs, playmaking heavies are incredibly effective. In the higher divs, people are very wise and they've got great spatial awareness, and it's much harder to get into those positions where you can sneak up on people. Of course, if you manage it, rock on. But yeah, just be very wary of doing it, because you don't want to leave your team without a heavy. Because, geez, if I'm attacking this point and we hear heavies down, it's like, then, you know, once the heavy's down, who have you got on ramp? You've got sniper and demo defending it, which is still significant, but it's, you know, it's not as much denial. Anything else to talk about on defense? I think. One thing on defense. If you're holding here, be very careful about jumping down heavies, because if I know their combo's holding in this corner, then going around tyres, and this is without the medic, just doing a dry drop down, just jumping off here, spinning up and trying to pick up what you can, you can get a pop.
Down. Drive-by drop down.
A dry, well, I was going to say a dry as in no Uber, but yeah, sure, drive-by, why not? Going in dry. Okay, let's talk about attacking this point. Again, as often is the case with heavy, you will be waiting for that call of sniper down. If the sniper is over in that corner, you do not want to play in this area. I can't remember who was saying it, but the idea of like pushing this point is you want to control this area up here, and once you control this area, the cart will just kind of go in by itself. So you really don't want everyone in the pit pushing, because it just means their team's going to spawn and kill you. So, okay, things you can do as heavy. quite often it'll be call of sniper down. If you hear sniper is down and you've got your combo together, then you want to start pushing this ramp and trying to take this ramp. Chances are they won't have a they won't have any, well, they'll have a demo defending this corner with sticks, but once the sniper's down, you can come in here moderately safely and start trying to make stuff happen. You can kind of push them to back here. If they've got Uber, then you want to just start squeezing them. You can start taking this area just by being here and threatening to shoot this corner will be great. They'll have a pyro very close to this corner trying to defend the gun. But you're not actually worrying too much about that. You see, normally you want to come in close on corners to get in nice and tight. But in this case, if the pyro's there, you don't. You want to come here. You want to keep your demo raining stuff down on this corner, turning this area really hot. And you can just like start squeezing. And once you're squeezing them so your demo can start getting stickies down to this area, then their NG's going to have a very hard time. And this is assuming there hasn't been a pop, which is obviously going to change the situation a bit. If you get up on this thing, being up here is great. If you control this area up here, then you being here is wonderful, because their pyro might come to this corner, whereupon you can kill him. You might be able to, if you walk over here, pick up demos and medics hanging down there. Like, basically the idea on attack here is, unless you're going for like a blitzkrieg Uber of some kind, you want to just squeeze them into smaller and smaller spaces so they're taking more splash, the medic can't heal them all, and then you kill them. Although I would say if you're like working from on that cliff, be very careful of spawning snipers, spawning soldiers who can get in large amounts of damage against you. Yeah, so an Uber coming in from here with a heavy is great. You'll probably get hit by a pyro. If the pyro is down, then hell, that gun is dead no matter what. There used to be a big trend for jumping out of map room. That's tend to lessen these days. If you jump out of map room with heavy, there's not actually that many places for you to go. Hopefully you might get the gun with your demo as well, but they're going to have retreated and you're going to have difficulty doing stuff. If you are doing a map room push, what you need is a follow-up from that. And this is something that SNSD pioneered and works quite well. You jump from map room, you try and kill the gun. When you don't kill the gun, you move your combo up here. And dealing with the combo up here is actually kind of awkward. While you can't put in that much damage as a heavy on your own, you can hold up here, covering the door. You can make this area pretty. You can't do great damage over there, but you can get in some dings, whatever. Another push which can be effective and I think is better than the map room drop down is going tyres. If you've got tyres clear and you haven't been spotted, if you get around to here, you can jump out around here, start dinging the sniper. If there's a soldier with you, if there's a demo with you, that sniper's either going to die or have to retreat into spawn. You can bomb off the edge. You can shoot a gun that's down here from here like this. So that is another thing to think about. It's again controlling this area up top. Often pushes into last get very messy. I would advise you as a heavy not to be on cart. I think you can do much more work by staying up top and hosing people. You can cover that spawn there, you can cover that spawn there, you can like put in dings over there, you can make life difficult for them. If your team is clustering down on the cart, then that's when they can all spawn and start putting lots of damage on you. You don't want that many people on the cart. You want just enough people pushing the cart so that it's moving at a decent pace, maybe 2, maybe 3. Yeah, if you're on cart, well, you better hope that, like, you know, if your demo and soldier are up top locking down these areas, then cart isn't a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, see who's where and consider where you want to be. Again, it's that thing, if you're up top, then you've got the drop down as a kind of movement option. If you're down below, you don't have that movement option. What I would say is, if you have done an initial push and you've got some people on the cart and other people doing things, again, the spiral is a great place even if you're on attack. If you just chill out in spiral here, it's very hard for them to get you unless a sniper goes up there, and you can make life very difficult for people coming up ramp. They want to pay attention to the cart, but if you're working the drop down, say even with the medic, like this is a great place to go after your Uber fades, it's very hard for them to get your medic. You're being a magic doorman, just tanking stuff in this doorway where they can't get past to your medic, and you can put a lot of pressure on this door down here. And also pick up people dropping down. Like if you're chilling in this doorway, covering that door down, what you'll often see is your team will be pushing apart from there, and just targets will be dropping down from that like balcony up there, and you just kill them. You just kill them again and again. It's just glorious. I don't often use this health pack over here. it's a long way from anything, so it's dodgy for a heavy on both attack and defense. Which isn't to say you shouldn't use it if you're on low health and that thing's there to get you big health. That's great. I've had some very embarrassing moments of being on low health, walking in here and just seeing a spy sitting there, whereupon he just shoots me with a revolver, and that's that. Be aware of that. It's not a good way to die. Made me very sad when it happened. What else about pushing last? Like I said, check this corner. It's not just heavies that like to chill down there, it's spies, there might be scouts down there. It's basically a great little ambush spot if people, aren't like looking at it. What else to talk about?
What do you think about retreating to their top spawn and going back through map room instead of going back to choke if Uber goes bad?
Going through that side and going through map is plausible. It's a long way to go though. I mean, if you like get their medic or something and you desperately want to keep their medic alive, or if they've just got too much numbers up, I mean, if you've committed, then and things have gone wrong, then escape however you can. That route to escape, the SNSD as we always called it, because they were the ones who first do it, that kind of works. You can only get out, although you might take spam while getting through there. You should be all right. If you need to escape through spiral, that's legit. I don't know, it's weird. I tend not to find escaping from this point is too much of a problem. Like, either you break them or you don't, it seems to be. And like, I mean, if you manage to get your combo into here and they're not in absolute disarray and you really, really want to push last anyway, then I'd be quite surprised. But, these things happen. What else about attacking last? Abusing this corner's good for like shooting heavies who are back wanting to retreat into spiral. On attack on this one, just as a general philosophy, you don't want to be committing super hard unless there's certain plays like jumping on guns as heavy where you are committing super hard, but you kind of want to stay alive and constantly be like the lid on the pressure cooker, just squeezing them in. The way to kill a team here isn't to if your team can splash in and kill them all, that's great, but if you can just force them into bad positions so that the rest of your team can squeeze them and kill them, then that works equally well here. Like, as a heavy, you don't have to get frags on this last push. You can, it can be great. If you can jump down, getting close and all that kind of jazz, then do it, make it happen. But just acting as like a squeezing agent is very effective.
If you're attacking, it's coming up in this little box thing, is it worth it? Since you can see like everyone. But you just get splashed out really easy, I guess. I
have wanted to find an excuse to go up to that little area up there for a long time. I haven't found one yet. I'm not saying it's bad on attack, but your angles aren't great. What I'd say is, if you're up there, you're going to have been called up there, and from both the top spawns, you're going to be called, and you're very easy to kill up there. Like, the idea of if a heavy comes up this way and you're up there, you're going to die. I think it could work as a kind of an ambush option. Like, if you've done that thing where like you've completely gone in and smashed their team and you want to install yourself up there, then do it. It's a bit of a surprise tactic, but I think in that circumstance, surprise tactics are great. So, yeah, it's plausible. Other things would be like, being on that top spawn behind the boxes, shooting down. What I've done before is just been chilling here. Just waiting for people to come out of that spawn. It's not a good idea. But on that final push, just being a speed bump and maybe getting kills for desperation people is, what you're going to do. But it's like that point at the end of any round where, so when you most common get this effect is on King of the Hill maps, when they have maybe 10 seconds left to cap the point. You install yourself somewhere, you spin up, and you know that people are going to lemming onto the point because it's all they can do, and you're going to get killed. Delicious, delicious kills. Same thing on this map. If your team's pushing in really hard and pressurizing them, don't push in really hard with them unless you really need to. What you can do is you can hang back a bit and just harvest those kills of people who just have to do desperation moves. What else to think about? I think that may be it. on attack. Let me think. Yeah, I can't really think of much else right now. Can anyone else think of anything to talk about? Or oh, one thing on both attack and defense. These pillars are really fucking useful. Use them just for hiding behind from other heavies, and yeah, you'll see savvy people will abuse them against you. Like if you're coming down this way, like you can hide like the entire body of most classes behind one of those pillars, and they can massively increase their lifespan against heavies, which is really fucking awkward. So yeah, those pillars are definitely a thing to take into account. Yeah, I think that might be it. Anyone else think of anything exciting?
No.
Would you ever use Natasha? That's what I'm going to use and steal and last. Because I've got the perfect...
No, you're not. No.
I am. I've got
Joe,
the perfect strat as a...
What, for stealing last? What, are you going to be picking up people trying to jump? That's when Natasha's kind of handy.
He doesn't
It's
know what
actually
he's gonna
horrible when people do
No,
that
I'm
to
gonna tell you. Don't worry. I'm gonna tell you later. As it's gonna work 100%.
Yeah, again, Natasha's one of those things that I've been trying to find an excuse to mix up and use Natasha. I think Natasha is vaguely plausible if you're trapped on tower on gravel pit, because there's not much ammo up there, so the extra ammo comes into effect, and being able to slow people down is actually kind of useful for jumpers.
Yeah, I like the Natasha in general. I think I can use it a lot more than the minigun.
I think you're lying, but that's fine.
No,
We'll see.
Joe. Hey Joe, don't say too much, because the leader of the team will face on Mondays, isn't he?
Yeah, the problem with Natasha, if it just had one of the downsides, if it had the spin up like reduction, or if it had the damage reduction, that'd be great. But both of them, it's just it's brutal. You can't. It's horrible.
You're gonna lose like only once against heavies.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop this recording now, and maybe I'll have time to upload this before I have to go.